do want to look at the last batch of episodes. We come back, obviously, to an episode that it's called Last Holiday. And so it feels weighted for your characters as their last holiday, not just with us, but maybe their last holiday ever. Where am I which you
I think you're hitting right around it.
So what do these celebrations, if that's the right word, look like?
In hindsight, I think we'll almost see that episode not only as an homage to the holidays that the boys get to go through and had to miss, but even like the bunker that's become their home. So it's a chance for the boys to kind of enjoy this home that's given them so much, and to sort of go like, all right, let's toot our own horns for just a second. You still got to get back to work, but let's go ahead and take a moment to go like it's like the last breath you take before you're about to do your final sprint or something. And so it's kind of a strangely it's kind of a serendipitous welcome back to the final 7 episodes, because it sort of is a chance of like, all right, everybody take a deep breath. Let's laugh a little bit. Let's see the boys kind of allow someone to give them some praise, and let's get work to do.
That is a little celebratory. I think it's probably one of those rare moments in the course of the show where we get to see the boys kind of kick their shoes off and kick their feet up and pat each other on the back and, you know, cheers and say job well done. But in true Supernatural fashion, it doesn't last long.
Right.
And we got to get back to work.
There was an idea you had, maybe you and Jared both, but had for a fun standalone episode that you wouldn't necessarily write, but wanted to say to the writers, hey, maybe consider this?
Jared, myself, and Richard Spate, Jr., we went back and forth. We actually have a text thread that was just spitballing ideas. And we called it Naked Supernatural. And not because we're
not clothing.
Not because we're all, not because we're all.
Everybody's mind just went, so okay.
It was like the Naked Gun version of Supernatural. Everything is tongue in cheek. Everything is, any kind of horrible joke that we could possibly fathom. It was going to be that version of an episode of Supernatural.
I'd come back to shoot it. I tell you what, if they write it and improve it.
Oh yeah. And we have some pretty good ideas. I'll have to go through and find them and tell you the next time we talk. But there were enough good ideas that we all thought were like, if this wasn't the final season of the show, this would be made an episode.
I know they made me laugh out loud reading.
Oh, yeah.
Like that would be hilarious. It was all the stuff you talk about where you're shooting some deep and dark scene where I think it was during Spate's episode where like killing Loki or whatever. And it's like, wouldn't this be funny if blah, 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 blah. And sure enough, we'd all bust out laughing and be like, okay, and get to your marks. You're like, oh shit.
We did and I believe this was one of the ideas that we had, and we actually did it as a goof, and it'll probably be on the last episode's blooper reel. But there's a big battle scene, and in rehearsal, or no, it was on camera. Jared literally just looks at me and just like gives me the nod, and I didn't really even know what that meant until he immediately just went, oh, we're going super slow-mo. And we did the entire fight in super, super slow-mo, and the crew members are just falling over, folded laughing. And it was,
But one of the things about doing stunt fights on camera is that if you fight at the same speed you would fight in real life, you can't see anything. And nothing. We have things called like quarter speed, half speed. It's like, that's a little fast also. Do a quarter speed. We're like, okay. And so we do quarter speed, and they're like, slow down a little bit further. And so I just looked at Jensen and I was like, he knows. And so sure enough.
Now, fun fact for you on that, there was, I forget what episode it was, where Sam and Dean are fighting each other in the Men of Letters, and Dean throws Sam off the balcony. That particular fight scene, the camera guy couldn't get over just because of the way the set was situated, to where my punch was not selling, as it didn't look like it was hitting him. There was air. And so I said, okay, I was like, watch this. And I actually slowed it down and literally connected with Jared, and he goes, "Wah!" And then they just sped it up in post, so it looks like I actually hit him.